What's a movie fact you know that pretty much no one else knows?
The theme song from Mission Impossible spells out me in Morse code in repeat.
When filming the rooftop scene in The Departed, a giant inflatable Arthur the Aardvark on top of a nearby children's museum would have dominated the background of many of the shots. The museum graciously agreed to temporarily deflate and remove Arthur.
In Edward Scissorhands, the version shown to critics and reviewers contained a scene that got cut from the final theatrical version. The scene was during the opening when the grandmother starts telling her story to the little girl. Essentially, it made it clear that everything we are seeing in Edward's story is not as it actually occurred, but rather we're appearing inside the little girl's imagination, seeing how she's interpreting what her grandmother is telling her. This brings whole new meaning to things like the way the houses are painted, how all the dads leave for work at exactly the same time, and the quirkiness of how everyone behaves. Once you know that the scene exists, you see the movie in a very different way. Much of what we think of a Tim Burton weirdness is actually childlike imagination once you know. So, go watch it again. It's not a whole new movie, but it feels and comes across in a whole new way.
In Contagion, the autopsy performed on Gwyneth Paltrow used a prop head that was originally made for the finale. Of 7, the latter decided against showing what was in the box, and thus, years later it was repurposed. In other words, we finally got to see what was in the box.
The original choice for Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story was Billy Crystal. He turned it down and went on to say, it was one of the biggest mistakes of his career. When the opportunity to voice Mike in Monsters, Inc. came up, he jumped at it, as he didn't want to make the same mistake twice.
Anthony Hopkins is an incredible mimic. Throughout his career, he's looped post-production sound re-recording many well-known co-stars who were unavailable for re-recording sessions. He's never taken credit for this.
In the first Shrek movie, Lord Farquaad is removing all the fairy tale creatures from the swamp. He wants Shrek's home too. In the old DVD extras they explain it's because he wants to build a theme park there. It's not explained at all in the movie.
The movie Dead Zone and Christmas Story were being filmed only a couple miles away from each other. At the same time, both productions were waiting for snow so they could film. It was an usually snowless winter. Finally, late in the season, there was a significant snowfall. The scene where Sheriff Bannerman arrives at Johnny's house is being filmed at the exact moment of the tongue to the flag pole scene.
Robert Englund, Freddie Krueger, originally auditioned to be Luke Skywalker, but didn't get the role. He told his roommate Mark Hamill to go try out instead.
Elle Woods has a different hairstyle in every scene in Legally Blonde.
Die Hard was adapted from a book.